Hello my friends, DrawThings officially added support for two cutting-edge open-source text-to-image models 1 week ago, ideogram 4 and Krea 2. Among them, ideogram 4 has 9.3 billion parameters. The previous model we introduced, ErnieImage, had 8 billion parameters. With this comparison, you can get a rough idea of the scale of this newly released model, and you can also have a general expectation of its generation speed. Krea 2 has a slightly larger parameter count, reaching 12 billion parameters. Both of these are text-to-image models. Currently, in the open-source model arena, ideogram 4 is firmly ranked first, while Krea 2 ranks 6th. To use a model effectively, you need to clearly understand its key characteristics. Following our usual approach, in the upcoming videos I will provide a detailed introduction to ideogram 4 and Krea 2 on DrawThings, the best AI creation tool in the Apple ecosystem, including practical experiences, creative insights, and parameter settings. Now let's move into the first part, the #1 open-source text-to-image model, ideogram 4. Ideogram is an AI image generation company based in Toronto, Canada. I introduced it in my early videos. At that time, they were well known for their accurate text rendering and beautiful infographic capabilities. In my opinion, this company has always been a top 3 level closed-source image generation company. I never expected that this time they would also enter the open-source competition. With only 9.3 billion parameters, ideogram 4 entered the arena and immediately took the first place. Ideogram 4 was born for design. It was trained entirely based on structured JSON format image and text descriptions, and this is the core reason why it achieved the #1 ranking. What does this mean? The JSON format enables high-dimensional and precise control. During generation, it can explicitly define fine-grained aspects such as spatial layout, bounding box coordinates, color palette, hex color codes, typography, and component deconstruction. So how can we use JSON prompts to control image generation? First, please update DrawThings to the latest version. The App Store version is v0716. If your device has good performance, you can run it locally. For devices with M3 chips and above, you can choose to download the 6-bit S or 8-bit S versions. The 6-bit S version saves more storage space, while the actual experience in terms of speed and image quality is almost identical to the 8-bit S. For devices before the M3 chip, you can directly download the 6-bit version. If your Apple device does not have enough local performance, you can directly use the DrawThings cloud service. It runs faster and allows you to quickly test the model performance. In the DT model list, you can find the original ideogram 4, as well as ideogram 4 Fast and ideogram 4 Instant provided by Fall. I have downloaded and tested all 3 versions of ideogram 4, and here is a comparison. You guys should be able to clearly understand their differences and similarities at a glance. Personally, the 2 versions I use most often are the original ideogram 4 and ideogram 4 Fast, combined with the acceleration low-rare called Turbo Time. You can download and import this low-rare. It can reduce the generation steps to 2 to 8 steps while maintaining overall image quality at a good level. For local generation, using 6 steps, my generation time is around 1 minute. However, I also noticed something while using the Turbo Time low-rare. This low-rare makes the overall image appear darker. You can clearly see this difference from the comparisons, and whether you can accept this style depends on your personal preference. Above is my sharing about model selection and generation parameters. I will provide these parameter files for you guys to download and use as references in the most convenient way possible. Of course, these generation parameters are also recommended in the DrawThings community configurations. My parameters are slightly different from the community recommendations, mainly in terms of shift settings and the combination of acceleration LoRa. If you are interested, you can try generating images with my parameters and see the results. After ensuring that we can achieve high-quality image generation from the first step, let's use an example to understand the most important concept of ideogram 4, BBox position design. Ideogram 4 does not respond very well to ordinary prompts. It can only demonstrate its full potential with JSON prompts. Therefore, DrawThings provides a dedicated option called Expand to JSON. This feature can expand your original prompt or intention into a prompt that follows the ideogram 4 JSON specification. During this process, most devices will automatically download Qwen 3.59b as the LLM for this prompt enhancer. Whether you are using DrawThings cloud computing for image generation or running a local task, this prompt expansion process is executed locally. If you directly paste a JSON prompt and run it, it will skip the enhancement process and execute the generation directly. Now let's move into BBox Position Design. This is a web tool I created specifically for ideogram 4 layout design. Let's take a look at what this tool can do. First, set the canvas size, which should match your target output size in DrawThings. Double-click on the canvas to create a new BBox. Each BBox can be resized and moved to different positions. Double-click inside a BBox, and you can freely enter the object you want to appear in that area. For example, based on my imagination, I created several boxes. The first box defines a white desk, the second box defines a little girl sitting at the desk doing homework, the third box defines a bed on the right side, and the fourth box defines a windowsill in the front. After making this simple layout design, a concise JSON prompt is automatically generated below. You can directly copy and paste it into DrawThings to generate the image, and this is the result. We then upload the generated image back into the canvas, and you can see that every generated element corresponds exactly to the BBox positions we defined. Next, let's move the bed box to the left side and move the little girl and desk boxes to the right side. After copying the prompt below and generating again, you can see that the positions of the bed, the little girl, and the desk in the generated image have also been adjusted accordingly. Moreover, all these elements are precisely located within the range of their defined BBoxes. This is the power and elegance of ideogram 4's structured prompting system. The example above is just a simple case. Designing BBoxes and creating basic prompts by yourself is actually very easy. In this example, I did not even include descriptions for the overall background or the visual style. The best approach is to establish ideogram 4 JSON prompt rules with a large language model, then feed this simple prompt with precise positioning information into the LLM and let it optimize and refine the prompt. This way, the generated image quality will be much higher. In addition to designing image layouts and defining elements by yourself, this BBox Position Design tool can also be used to parse JSON prompts. For example, if you already have a JSON prompt describing a beautifully decorated living room, you can paste it into the parsing box at the top, and it will structurally analyze all the elements and place them onto the canvas. You can then modify these elements or even directly remove certain objects. For example, in this case, I removed the plants, floor lamp, and small round stool from the scene. After generating again, the result became this image, with everything executed precisely according to your intention. If you have time, you can further explore my BBox Position Design tool. It contains many more features and can serve as a powerful assistant for ideogram 4 image generation, composition design, and image editing. In addition, I would also like to introduce an image reverse prompting tool for ideogram 4. You can install Image to Prompt through Pinocchio. It uses the visual tagging capability of the Florence 2 model to deconstruct any image into an editable JSON prompt. The entire project is relatively lightweight and is suitable for local installation. This is where we will end the first part about ideogram 4. In the second part, let's talk about Krea 2. Krea 2 is much simpler to explain. The positioning of this model is also relatively straightforward. Overall, compared with previous models such as Ernie Image and Z-Image Turbo, it does not have many fundamental differences. In particular, it is very similar to Z-Image Turbo. It uses Qwen 3VL4B as the text encoder and also uses the Qwen Image VAE. The parameter count reaches 12 billion. From my actual experience, the biggest impression I have is that it has stronger world knowledge. The generated images are very stable and generally do not collapse. The biggest highlights claimed by Krea 2 are also its traditional strengths. Krea's aesthetic quality is very well preserved, realism is excellent, diversity is rich, and prompt adherence is outstanding. Its overall capability is truly impressive. It should be noted that the style reference generation feature officially mentioned by Krea 2 is only available through their official website. This part has not been released in the open source code. For general usage, I think downloading Krea 2 Turbo is enough. Generating with 8 steps locally on an M5 iPad takes a little over 80 seconds, which is quite acceptable. I will show you some generation examples from Krea 2 Turbo and Krea Raw, and you should be able to get a general understanding of this model's characteristics. In my opinion, you can think of it as a complementary upgraded version of Z-Image Turbo. However, unfortunately, although Krea 2 Turbo supports Chinese prompts, its Chinese text rendering capability is still not strong enough. This is my practical sharing of the 2 latest cutting-edge open-source models on DrawThings, the dedicated AI creation software for the Apple ecosystem. You guys are welcome to add more insights or point out anything I may have missed so we can better explore the value of these models and maximize their practical application capabilities. That's all for today's content. I'm ToolBuddy, focusing on discovering high-quality tools and solutions, helping improve efficiency little by little every day. See you in the next episode.